Hi, this is Mert, and this is why I love Arsenal. Well, I started supporting Arsenal when I was about 6, 7. That was really when I just started to get to know football a little bit more. It was quite, I was kind of mixed between a few teams. But then after, when you're living next to a stadium, when you live next to certain areas, it's just easier for me to support a club that I'm next to. The whole history of it as well, that the Invincibles, then you have the double winning team, the league that we won at Anfield.
Smith, but Thomas charging through the midfield. Thomas, it's up for grabs now. Thomas, right at the end.
And because we moved to the new stadium, it was just more of a vibe where we just had to get used to the fact that we're just going to get top 4. But the main thing I remember was I was watching it even when I was younger. It was the 2006 Champions League final, and that's probably the worst thing that I think even Arsenal's actually had to go through, especially with Arsene Wenger. I think ever since then, there's never been the same man. I think ever since he lost that final, he tried to be like Barcelona, and then because back then, before 2006, there's always the big guys, 6'3s, big men. But he still played the football, but it was more aggressive. And then after that, it was more the Nilsons, the Bettners and all that. It was very small, they were 5'10", 5'9". Back then, we used to play very good football. Maybe not now, but when you look at Arsenal, before Arsenal, it was just long ball, but Arsenal because of their football. This guy, Patrick Vieira, the fact that the man came in very young, but then also he only became captain in 2002. He was massive. He'd leave everything on the pitch. Him and Roy Keane, I always remember them when I watched back in Man United and Arsenal. It was always them two have the spat to see who comes out on top. And both of them always wanted to win.
See up there, shut your mouth up here. Come on, every week. Come on, there. You're a nice guy. Come on, come on. Come on, there. Shut your mouth.
He always believed that he can win every single match, and every single game he played, he put everything in. Nothing was left. He had nothing left in it when he left the pitch, and that's what we lack right now. So this is Thierry Henry. Well, a lot of people know him already, but he's probably one of the things that our team lacks right now. Grit, determination, passion for the badge. Every single game he played, he wanted to win. He might not have played brilliantly one game, but that's like a one-off. Like every other game he play, he'll do his best to win. But for me, I didn't watch him when he was on his prime, but what I've seen of him, he used to go past players. He used to score how many goals. He used to pass the ball well. He used to header the ball. He was fast, lightning quick. I don't think there's a striker like him in the Premier League right now. I think he's probably the best striker that the Premier League's ever seen. One of the main things that I like about this guy, I love him so much, is the fact that when he came back, he wasn't the same player, but I remember this clearly when he came back for the game against Leeds. The man literally came in, took a touch, and then he scored the goal at, I can't remember, 30-something years old. I think that's probably the best I've ever seen. And even though he was not in his best shape, he still had the determination, the grit, the passion, everything. He wanted to win the game. So I think, he's probably the best Arsenal player to ever play for Arsenal. So I wasn't really part of the best parts, like the Invincibles, but I could say the best one was probably the FA Cup 2014. It wasn't a massive trophy, but I think it was like a relief. We went into the game with pressure, with 8 years without a trophy. I think that final was a relief. It's not just for the fans, I think just for Arsene Wenger. Because I think if he didn't win that, he'd be gone. I think he couldn't handle it anymore. But that final, we went into it. I thought we were going to win because whole city. We go in 10 minutes in, we're 2-0 down. And then it was like the worst thing to ever see. I was gone, I was lost. I nearly cried because it was just, I never experienced Arsenal win a proper trophy, and then you're like, it's happening all over again. Cazorla scored that free kick. And then Koscielny in the second half scores the second goal. And then we go into extra time, and then Giroud pulls a masterclass, and then the man to come back from injury, the man who's leaving this season, Aaron Ramsey, scores the winner. Ballistic, and I've never felt something like that in my life, so that's been my best one.